Welcome to the Bible Breakdown. No fluff, no tradition, just verse by verse clarity. Today we're examining Commandment 9 in our 10 Commandment series. Exodus 20 verse 16 says, "You shall not bear false witness against your neighbor." I think the most common visualization for this commandment is like a scene from a courtroom. Someone raises their hand, swears to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, and then they lie under oath. But the Bible doesn't limit this commandment to the courtroom. Most of us have never committed perjury in a court, but many of us have destroyed someone's reputation in our living room. The 9th commandment is about protecting truth and protecting the reputation of our neighbor in our everyday lives. False witness is not just lying under oath. It includes the subtle ways that we damage people with our words. Have you ever shared something about someone that was technically true, but you shared it specifically to make them look worse, like gossiping? Remember, honesty without compassion is just cruelty. That's weaponization of the truth. Have you ever assumed someone's motives and repeated those assumptions as if they were established facts? Have you ever exaggerated someone's mistake while minimizing your own? Proverbs chapter 18 verse 21 says, "Death and life are in the power of the tongue." So our words not only preserve life, they can destroy it. The Westminster Larger Catechism explains that the 9th commandment forbids things like slander, gossip, backbiting, rash judgment, exaggerating faults, misrepresenting motives, and damaging someone's reputation unnecessarily. It is using words in ways that distort truth or harm our neighbor. Another way we fail this commandment is through being silent when we should speak up. When someone is being misrepresented or slandered or torn down, and we know the truth, but we refuse to speak, we fail to defend our neighbor's reputation, and we break this commandment. The 9th commandment doesn't just forbid lying. It calls us to protect truth and preserve the reputation of others whenever justice requires it. Why do we tear people down with our words? Well, it's because of our own pride. When we damage someone else's reputation, we're often trying to elevate our own reputation. We climb over broken reputations to make ourselves look better. But the Bible reminds us that every person bears the image of God. So when we casually destroy someone's reputation, we are attacking someone that reflects our Creator. When we allow someone to gossip or say something that we know isn't true about someone else, we're guilty of breaking this commandment passively. By this standard, none of us is innocent. James chapter 2 verse 10 says, "For whoever keeps the whole law, yet stumbles in one point, has become guilty of breaking all the law." We have all spoken carelessly. We've all exaggerated. We've all gossiped. We've all bent the truth. And if the story ended there, we would stand condemned by our own words. But the gospel tells us a different story. When Jesus Christ, the only perfectly truthful man who ever lived, was put on trial, Matthew tells us that the false witnesses came forward to testify against him. They slandered him, they twisted his words, they dragged his perfect name through the dirt. And what did Jesus do? Isaiah 53 says, "Like a lamb that is led to slaughter, he opened not his mouth." And Mark 15 verse 3 says, "And the chief priests started accusing him of many things. But Pilate questioned him, asking, 'Do you offer nothing in answer? See how many charges they are bringing against you?' But Jesus said nothing further in answer, so Pilate was amazed. The God of truth stood silently while liars condemned him. He took the judgment that our lying tongues deserve. But the grace of God doesn't only forgive our lies, it transforms our mouths. The redemption of a liar means becoming someone who loves truth, someone who protects the reputation of others, someone whose words build up instead of tearing down. Because words that once destroyed can become words that bring life. I'll see you in the next breakdown. Thanks for watching.